Don't be deceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, that we might be a kind of first fruits of all he created.
Hey, it's Dave and Josh. Welcome to the Study Bible portion of the Video Bible. So let's jump right in and look at what's happening in this verse.
I think very simply, the message of verse 16 and 17, don't be deceived. And any time the scriptures speak very pointedly, we ought to listen up. That means that God knows in his wisdom we're prone to be deceived about something. So what is it that we're prone to be deceived about? Verse 17 gives us the answer. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. So we're prone to be deceived into thinking that we are the source of whatever it is we have, good or bad.
Work ethic.
Yeah, work ethic. So the money in my bank account, I earned that. The house where I live, that's mine. Those cars, that furniture, those kids, my time, and just go on. We could just fill in the blank with whatever you think you have. We're prone to be deceived into thinking that not only is it mine, but it's mine because I earned it. It's mine because I did what it took to get it. And this is a great rebuke to that temptation. I think following on the previous verses, this is one of the temptations we experience, to forget God and to think, he didn't do this, I did this. That's why we illustrated this verse with a picture of that woman and the various good things in life coming down from above. So you got a picture of money. Our resources are the Lord's. He's entrusted those to us. At best, we're stewards of his money. Children, relationships, whatever other good things you have, your physical health, your home, your job, and on we could go. One of the things that's hard to illustrate and that isn't pictured there, but is also true and falls in line with the themes that we see in James 1 particularly, is that trials themselves are good gifts. We've said that. That's why in verse 2 he says, count it all joy when you meet trials of various kinds. Trials are good gifts from a loving Father that wants to do surgery on our hearts and on our lives in order to make them more fruitful and to cause them to align more fully with his purposes. And so very simply, this verse is a great reminder that we're stewards. God has blessed us immensely no matter where you are, no matter where you find yourself. You could compare yourself to somebody else and think, I'm not near as blessed as that person. But in the scheme of things, if you're listening to this, then God has given you hearing. You're alive today. God has given you life and breath in your lungs, and that's a gift from him. And if that's a gift from him, so is everything else that our hands can touch and our eyes can see.
Yeah, that's a great word. One of the things, I got hurt really bad once, and somebody said, I looked out there and you were rolling all over the ground. That was one of the things that stood out that they said. I think about that, and that's how I can go through trials. That's how some of us can go through trials. We're rolling all over the ground in the sense that we're just going up and down, up and down. And so what I love about this verse is in the middle of it where it says, he who does not change like shifting shadows. And just how that's great in that the Lord does not change, and he is so steadfast in his love for us. And that's so helpful for me, is the guy that's out there rolling around on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, God he is not swayed by circumstances. One of the things that says to me is that God knows who he is, and he acts according to who he is, regardless of our life circumstances, which means that if God is committed to our good, he's committed to our good, and that doesn't matter. Which means that In the midst of trials, he's no less good. In the midst of circumstances that we would consider blessing and not trial, I think that's a bad distinction. Trials are blessings. That's the point. God doesn't change his methods one day to the next. God is always working to accomplish his will within us. And because he's wise, because he's good, because he's powerful, he has a very large toolbox of tools that he can use to prune us. And he does that. And that's the point here. He's not malicious. He's not driven by emotions. I mean, I know that I can confess in the lives of my own children, my mood changes, my attitude changes. And sadly, my children experience the result of that. God is not that way. God doesn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed and treat us poorly because he's tired and grouchy. He's good all the time. And that's a great reminder for us in the midst of it. And then the promise at the end of verse 18, by his own will, he brought us forth that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. He's creating something in us. He has a design and a plan for us that we would be a first fruit, an offering, the first crop that comes in of his creatures. He's doing something in us. He doesn't just spin the world off and say, all right, have fun. He's actively involved in shaping not only the world, but shaping us individually.
Yeah, and this is like one of the earlier pieces of the study Bible that we did, where we talked about James can come across as a real rule-centered book for people, and that's how they can really falsely interpret it. Because if you look at what you just said about verse 18, I mean, here is the brother of our sovereign Lord, and he is digging into the goodness of God and the love of God.
That's right.
And I really love that about James, because, and this is so true for all of the Bible, I had a misconception of James and had to go really read it and dig into it and study it. And I think that's very true for all of the Bible is, don't take our word for it or somebody on TV or just whoever you're listening to. Just get into the Bible yourself and dig in. And that's what we're trying to do with the video Bible, is just make it accessible for more people, make the Bible more accessible for more people in a new format, and just show God's love. That's something that needs to be showcased, in our opinion, is how loving and glorious he is. And so, amen. Well, that's it for us. Please stay tuned for an important message about the work we're doing and how you can get involved in the Video Bible. We need your help. We have the ability to put this into 30 languages, and all we need is the funding. So stay tuned for that.
I've known great personal pain and brokenness in my life. And this is the only thing that ever gave me any peace, because it pointed me to Jesus. And that is the peace that surpasses all understanding, right? But sadly, this is not accessible to all people. People that can't read, people that are dyslexic, people that are elderly, that have a hard time concentrating. There's just so much that can't access the Bible. And so we need to put it into a format that's more accessible. And how we plan to do that is we're going to illustrate every single verse of this, and then we're going to put the audio track on the top of it, and we're going to create the Video Bible. What is amazing about that is that I've spent 14 years working in an international ministry doing languages. And so I know a lot about the world of ministry. And not only can we create this Bible for you and for your family, what's also amazing is the publishers of this Bible have given us the audio track in over 30 languages. And so you can help me by doing a crowdfunding for your family, but I can actually get this to Iran. Okay, I can put this in a Video Bible in Farsi. Okay, that's mind-boggling. And we've been working on this after hours as a moonlighting project for well over a year. And we're ready to do this. Okay, this is a doable thing, but we need the financing. Okay, so we need 1,000 people to give $20 a month. You can go to the homepage, go to videobible.com, and you can learn all about that. But it's just really amazing what God has done. He's brought together all these great videographers and theologians and artists, and just amazing, right? And he's done it through a broken person. And so we can do this together, right? It's like, it's just really, really exciting. And we'd love for you to be part of this journey and just come along with us. So go to videobible.com, check it out, share it with your friends, like it, and just, follow us along the journey, and we'll be glad to just have you. Thank you.